Hello everyone, a very warm and heartfelt welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me again today. Just take a look at the weather. It started snowing and it's now truly full-on winter outside, and it's cold here too, much colder than usual. So I'll try my best to stay comfortable. I haven't set up the heaters yet, so it's a bit chilly in here. Today's cigar choice is this Rocky Patel Decade. It has a special shape, a unique box press design. It's carefully pressed into this particular shape. This is also a huge favorite of mine. And now let's get to the reason why I kindly ask for your attention. This is the latest release from Arran. This is the so-called Arran single malt Scotch whiskey, and this is the Arran Barley. What makes the Arran Barley famous and special is that every ingredient comes from the Isle of Arran. So both the barley, the malting of the barley, and the spring water, practically everything is produced there. From what I know, this is the 2025 edition, but they plan to release one every year. By the way, the distillery is 30 years old this year, and they can now make their 30-year-old spirit. So for 30 years, they've released or are about to release a whiskey aged for 30 years. And I think this is a great opportunity for a 30-year-old distillery to pay tribute to something truly special, something that really represents that island, that wonderful world. I've always held the Arran Distillery in high regard. I think what they've accomplished over the past 30 years is absolutely incredible, basically starting from nothing. They really put their mindset, their creativity, their love for whiskey, the way they present it. Wow, for me, it's really impressive. And this bottle with its green exterior, the many grains depicted, the barley on the bottle. Look, you can see that pair of eagles, because of which the construction of the distillery had to be halted for 2 years so that this eagle pair could settle at the distillery onto the distillery grounds. And for 2 years they left the construction on hold out of respect and deep appreciation for nature. And it's not just on the box, but also on the box lid and even on this metal cap. And look, it's on every single bottle cap as well. That in itself is a testament to their commitment to honoring nature in every possible way. That's the Sasper. And now I'll show you the bottle in more detail. Personally, I like the old bottles much better than the new ones for a variety of reasons. This one, however, is quite easy to pour from, which is definitely a plus. To me, it has a bit of a medicine bottle vibe, almost reminiscent of those old-fashioned apothecary bottles you might see in a vintage pharmacy. Someone on Instagram commented that they thought it was oil inside, judging by the color and the shape of the bottle, which I can totally understand. Still, I think if the RM Distillery's name is on it, then it can't be oil, but I also prefer the old bottle to the new one. They said this one has a certain freshness, and supposedly it's a more expensive bottle than the old one. The stopper is wood and cork now, whereas before it was plastic and cork, so basically they've improved the quality in a positive way. Still, I like the old bottle much more than the new one, but you know, that's a matter of taste. There's one more important thing I want to mention. The old bottles always came with a little booklet that introduced the drink and the distillery, so there was a bit of storytelling and anecdotes. They've left these out now. You could say there was no demand for it, or maybe people got bored of the old ones, but in my opinion, if there's already such a tradition, it might be worth keeping it. So, getting back to the drink itself, the drink is made from ingredients found on the island of Arran. The barley, the water, the yeast, everything is sourced locally, and what's more, it was crafted by the local masters. So it's not just that the raw materials come from the island of Arran, but the people there made it as well, which I think again reflects a very positive attitude toward the craft. The bottle was aged for 10 years and for 2 months in barrels, specifically in first fill bourbon barrels and sherry casks. It spent 10 years aging there, and what I think suits RM whiskies very well and would actually suit any good whiskey is that they bottled it at 50% ABV. I believe this gives it an extra distinctive strength that really works for whiskies, at least in my opinion. So there you have it. So let's take a moment to see what it actually says, and also, what's it called? The color of this whiskey isn't particularly intense or deep, I have to say. Given that this is a 10-year-old whiskey that's been aged in both bourbon and sherry casks, I might have expected to see a bit more color, perhaps a richer hue, but of course this could simply mean that the barrel itself wasn't deeply or heavily charred when they put the spirit in for aging. And as a result, for example, it gets noticeably less color, which is quite interesting. In terms of aroma, it brings those wonderful classic vanilla and rich leather notes. I also get hints of clove and a touch of gingerbread, which add to the complexity. The scents are really truly good, exceptional even. They lend a particularly exciting and intriguing flavor profile. And it doesn't just lend this character, but actually promises it as well, if I can put it that way. The overall impression is one of depth and sophistication, with each note contributing to a harmonious and memorable experience. The taste is truly very pleasant and harmonious. The flavors and notes balance each other out remarkably well. There isn't even the slightest hint of peatiness in the taste, but instead there is a lot of honey, rich vanilla, sweet, distinctive, and deep notes. Just as I mentioned earlier, clove, gingerbread, and maybe even a subtle hint of blueberry flavor. I can pick those out as well. It's a very exciting drink, a very exciting drink. All this, let's say, costs between 50 and 60 euros. So I think we're talking about a drink again that in forints is around 20,000 to 25,000 forints. In euros, as I mentioned, it's about 60 euros for this bottle, around 50 to 60 euros. It's somewhere around there. This bottle is a limited edition. I don't remember exactly if they committed to 18,000 bottles or if that's how many they made. So I put one aside, but honestly, I think it's just for the memory because in the long run, it's not going to be worth a huge amount. But the drink itself is very good. It's easy to drink, great for good company, to get the mood going for a birthday party, any kind of party, for conversation. I think this is an excellent occasion and an excellent drink. So thank you very much for joining me. If you can, please subscribe to the channel, share the content, leave a comment, I don't know, recommend it to others too so they can watch. And if you can, have a whiskey today as well. Thank you for being here. Cheers.